outlook for Arvind in FY13 core business as well as real estate. Let's move on. Let's talk about Dabur India. Numbers came out a couple of days back. Numbers have been fairly okay, but the big question mark is how much more can the consumption story here in India persist? To touch base on that, we have Sunil Duggal, CEO of Dabur India, joining us from Delhi. As always, Sunil, pleasure having you with us. Let's talk about the gross margin picture for the company. Slightly weak in the fourth quarter. How would you view it in the current environment with inflation being on the higher side? Can you comment about margin picture in FY13? What's the growth outlook like?
I think overall the gross margins would be a little bit lower than what we saw in 2012. But I think the worst is behind us. We would now look forward to increasing the margins, albeit slowly. So I do see some improvement in the margin profile, though in aggregate terms, because of high inflation, the margins are likely to be lower than what we saw last year.
In some food category, there's been some bit of a sluggishness as far as fourth quarter is concerned. Would that be the impact of inflation as far as volume growth is concerned?
I think a couple of food companies have shown less than expected results, but that doesn't hold good for us. We have a foods business which is largely fruit beverages, and that has grown ahead of 30% last quarter. So in fact, we have no problems in terms of demand as far as our packaged food business is concerned. And I think the trend is continuing to look very strong, and we do look forward to very strong growths in the food business, at least for this year.
Can you comment about the rural distribution? You were apparently realigning the rural distribution business, and how would it actually impact the company?
It's still work in progress. We piloted in 2 states last year. It's been rolled out now in 10, which covers around half our business. And by the end of the second quarter, I think it should be rolled out at around 80% of our markets. We do believe this will have a give us a long-term sustainable advantage in terms of reaching out to the rural population, both in terms of increasing the depth of distribution as well as the width of distribution. So it's very important for us, and we believe it will have strong payoffs in the future.
In the FMCG space, interestingly, shampoos, the business has grown quite well for the last 2 quarters. Could you comment about volume growth outlook ahead in this particular category?
I think it is. It's off a low base because last year the shampoo volumes did drop significantly. So a double-digit growth is something which we would certainly expect this year. We do believe that shampoo is on the road to recovery, and we should be able to regain all the lost ground by the end of this year.
Well, interestingly, ad spending in the last quarter was up despite other players keeping a tap as far as ad spending is concerned. Can you comment about the ad spending trend in FY13?
Very likely, I think the trend which you saw in the first quarter is likely to continue for the next few. There could be some course correction in case inflation becomes much higher than what we anticipate. Then there may be no other recourse but to trim advertising. That seems to be a bit unlikely. We do think that inflation, while high, is manageable, and we would be able to continue to maintain a high trajectory of A&P spends to drive very strong growth at the top line.
Also, if you could comment about new products that you're planning to roll out?
Yeah, I think there will be a large number of new product introductions, but they would not be in categories in which we are not present. They would be to fill up vacant slots in existing businesses, expand the boundaries of our existing businesses, and you will certainly see far more activity in terms of new product this year than you saw in the last year.
Right, Sunil, thank you so much for your time. Great to chat with you as always. That's Dabur up almost 0.5% right now, 107 on the stock. We'll take a break, come back, and of course visit the pharmaceutical sector, talk about the numbers of Ranbaxy which came out yesterday.